from not only me, but Unity College. It's been a true privilege to be invited to come and speak to this fellowship of moms of children with autism, because we know about your journey and we feel it too. There's something that you need to notice straight off. Our name, Unity College. And that means there's a unity within our school, but there's a unity between our parents and us, as it's a village that it takes to raise a child. And I've brought 2 people from my village who are going to speak later. Our school is in Chartwell, which is just beyond 4 Ways. And I know some people are already going, oh, that's far out. It's far out, but it's got to be the most peaceful, calm and quiet school that you will ever meet. And our autistic children thrive in that structure, the calmness, the kindness and the quietness. It is a full school. We do all the things that other schools do, neurotypical schools. We have sports days, we have our Stedfords, concerts, all of those sort of things. And we cater for a large number of different children. You know, in mainstream, you always used to say, oh, children are all unique. Yeah, like a box of Smarties. Once we're dealing with autistic children or children with special needs, we're dealing with licorice all sorts, because everybody is so incredibly unique. And we do take all sorts of children. If they need us, if they fit with us, we embrace them and we welcome them. And that's special, because the autistic child lives in an environment where there are other children. If your child is struggling with communication, there may be other children who don't, but they work together and they lift each other up. Well, to get to our school, we have a whole fleet of buses. We pick up children in the Midrand area, in the Parks area, as far as Santon, Rosebank, Union, and we also pick up in the Honeydew area. So we have a wide catchment, because there are not many schools, and there are not many schools like ours. But parents want their children to come to school, and the logistics are just too much. We have an early intervention centre. That means we're taking children from as young as 3. Our class size is 8. We have a teacher and we have a class assistant in there. Then we go on to our junior phase, roughly 6 to 11 years old. Again, our class sizes are about 8. And in the younger grades, we have teacher assistants. So essentially, we're looking pretty much at a ratio of 1 to 4. That means our children are taught every second, every minute of every day. They're supported, they're loved, they're cared for, and their needs are met. So this is a photo of some of the intermediate phase activities that we do. I'm not going to try and elaborate on them, because I have a specialist who's going to come and tell you far more about what our academic program looks like. So my deputy, Carolyn Sabat, is going to take over from me here.
Hello moms and dads, as a teacher, I really want to make sure I've got your attention. So my fourth eye is watching for those drifty eyes that are looking somewhere else. And then I'm going to do something like fingers to the ceiling, fingers to the door, fingers to the window, fingers to the door. And just as I am using my tone of voice, my eye contact, and how silly I can be, I have most of your attention. And that is what I need to do every minute of every moment that I have in my classroom with my children. If we spend the time observing who's in our class, watching how they respond, looking at what they can do, not focusing all the time on what they can't do, but we use what they can do to almost manipulate them into a sense of confidence for us to be able to teach. And I just want to share 3 or 4 areas that are so important. I want to tell you, there's so much hope. There's never a time limit. Do not put a seal on the top of your children's learning ability. Whether one day they're going to learn to wipe their own bottom, or they're actually going to wear clothes when you ask them to, so that you can get to granny in time. Or they are going to learn to read and write. They are going to communicate. It's going to be in their way at their time. You have to be patient. But keep your eyes open. There are opportunities at every moment. And share those moments. Tell granny, tell auntie, tell the carer, tell the gardener, tell the driver. This is what I saw. This is what he can do. When he does this, he's asking you for that. Give them the chance to be heard. That's all they want. Which is why those vocalizations come out all the time and want to drive you crazy. The more you're on your phone, the more you are trying to talk to your friend just to get a moment of being. And they are sitting there going, train pumpkin orange now. Train pumpkin orange now. Train pumpkin orange now. And you are just thinking, please, this is my 5-minute conversation. Turn to them, acknowledge, say exactly the same thing. Give them a genuine smile because they know that you are just putting up with them. And get back to what you're doing. There's so many techniques. There's so much out there. There's so many things you can make and are for free. And we could help you navigate those tools because there's lots out there and they don't always suit everybody all of the time. But we know, as soon as we think we know the answer, they're going to change, right? We have to be open to that too. The frustration can be with us. So, unfortunately, with that literacy development, if a child starts to show literacy development, somebody else's perception of them changes and their learning trajectory increases dramatically. Which is why we are always trying to get from communication to some literacy development. Reading, pointing out, using pictures. Then the other part is that we are multimodal communicators. I'm using my hands, I'm using my body, I'm using my facial expressions, I'm using loud and soft voices. I can talk to you in many ways that you understand that I'm communicating, not just standing here very quietly because you would be sleeping or you were left. Our children are also multimodal communicators. Watch what they do. They don't only do one thing or they can't do anything. That's absolutely crazy. They've also got a facial expression. They've also got body language. They will also come and scratch you to death should you not be listening and understand what they want. They are communicating all the time. Crying, screaming, shouting, pinching, biting, pushing, kicking, lifting things over. Saying the same word, that eventually you understand what the association with that word or noise is. Tell other people what that is. Write it down, make a voice note, take a video of it, share it. That child needs to be heard, they want it. There's ways of doing an expensive AAC on your iPad, or well, it is an iPad because it needs a certain software, Grid 3, where that picture is touched, a voice comes out, and that person can learn to use proper sentences and say, like one little boy in my class, it's the wrong way around, but he does it. I want please a crayon. It's always going to be the please before the other. They can go all the way, depending on what pictures you put into that grid, which is really easy too. I want chips, I want Simba chips, I want cheese Simba chips. Please. And thank you. And good morning. We want to hear that voice. We want them to tell us they love us. We want them to tell us thank you, because it's hard. They are doing that, but it means nothing when they are parroting, thank you, mommy. They are showing you in many other ways and saying thank you every day for what you are doing for them. Don't forget it. The other part is behavior regulation. Tough. You've got to get it under control. What is cute in a 3-year-old is not cute in a 6-year-old. What is not cute in a 6-year-old is horrendous in a 16-year-old. What is horrendous in a 16-year-old becomes unplayable at 23. They're taller than us. They're heavier than us. They're stronger than us. They're louder than us. They will embarrass you if you care what other people think. Who cares? That child is talking to you. You talk to that child. And ignore the, need a snack. Take a step back, ladies and gentlemen.